Alright guys, we've got a 30-minute game. This is unrated on the board against Patsa Joe, who's in the 1200 range, and they've started with d4, so I'm going to go and play the Dutch. Just saying that we're recording the game. Now it's time to focus. Don't know if we've played before. Okay, so c4 is good. Get ready to put the knight behind there. I'm going to play my knight out. Get some central control. The plan is going to be with the Leningrad Dutch, g6, bishop g7, and castle kingside. Alright. Bishop f4. Quite often this bishop comes down here and causes an annoyance. I think d6 is quite oftenly played, oftenly? It's not even a word. I'm going to play g6 now. Might play d6, bring my knight in there, maybe fianchetto my light square bishop. The general plan. It's nice to know the general setup plans. Okay, knights come out. Let's just prepare that bishop, prepare to castle. And this, he's playing quite quick. And so am I. So this is like a kind of a London, but he's got this advanced c4, which I like. So he's moved c4 before moving the knight out. Sometimes in the London proper, the knight comes in front of the queen. But I like this setup for white. So he's got very good central control already. I've got this pawn on f4 looking there. It's also supported by the knight. So the e file is going to be my default channel to try and attack. Especially if I can play d6, get my knight on here, then e5 should come. So it's defended by pawn, knight, and possibly if I can get my rook onto e8 as well, that might work. Okay, so 1200, so we've got 240 points difference, and but it's unrated. Okay, normal developing move. I think I'll just fianchetto the bishop now. Can't see any real risk with not having castle yet. I think that's okay. I've even got a nice kind of outpost there now on e4 for the knight. If knight takes, I've got bishop takes as well, so I've got some pressure now on this long diagonal, quite like that. Don't know if I want to play e6. Seems kind of slow. Okay. So now if I castle, they've got a pawn push with check. e6 now would actually put a stop to that idea. But let's say castles, they push c5, I'm in check, and I just move my king to h8. I've done that before. I'm still not... Yeah, I've still got the opportunity to castle queenside if I want to as well. But I'm also tempted just to snatch this knight now. I think that looks pretty nice. Yeah, I'm just going to grab the knight. Mess up their pawns. So now castling kingside, it's going to be very risky. Also castling queenside, the king's in a lot of space there as well. Okay, so now you've got these double pawns, but it does kind of strengthen their e file to a degree because they've now got a bonus f pawn. Okay. I'm tempted to play that, but it does seem kind of slow. It also kind of makes the queen a bit bad, doesn't it? Trying to disable this. So it keeps going pain. Right. So he's got quite a pawn density now in the middle. That pawn's undefended. So queen there would be kind of cool. And he's got e4 takes. It's not. So am I worried about this? If I castle there, put my king on here, and they push there, that's kind of overextending a little bit. I'm going to go and do that. If they push, I just dodge into the corner. So I'm not afraid of this, because I'll just recapture with the a pawn. Got to evaluate threats. Don't just run from them. Don't be running away from ghosts. I've also even got e6, simply blocking the check, which might be okay. And then we might have pawn push as well. That's another idea. And I've got no other defenders on that square. So if I push that, they push that. They take. We've got queen takes, boom. That's not good. So I'd like to get my rook onto e8 at some point. Line it up with their king. And help defend this. So I think if pawn pushes now, I think maybe dodging the king first and then centralise the rook, and then think about pushing the e-pawn. So I've given up my nice attack bishop now, but there is a weak pawn there. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so he's defended the pawn. I'm going to centralise the rook now. Then if they push, I've got e6. He's got more backup there. What's your game? So knight there. It's defended by the bishop, so maybe d6 now. Just stops that idea. Quite like that. Also supports e5. Takes, and then the bishop has to retreat. Goes here, it's now pinning the knight, of course. Can't push g5. Okay, so there's the check. So they just push this. Oh, then I'm kind of weak on here, and I've got 3 attackers on this, you see. And if I push the pawn, I've only got 2 defenders. Right now we're okay. So I'm thinking king h8. If takes, I might be inclined to recapture with the e-pawn and just open up the line towards the king here. Can also kick the knight. That might be good. It can't go there. And kicking the knight makes sense. It's going to have to come back here. And these 2 squares are covered, kind of so. It's also nice to push that as well, isn't it? d5, block things off. Yeah, I like that too. It does weaken my control of e5. It is a growth edge now for me that I'm learning. Thinking about control of squares, not just control over pieces. Plenty of time on the clock for both of us. I'm enjoying this Leningrad Dutch. Similar to the King's Indian, did a video on it yesterday, but the difference is you've got this advanced pawn on f5. The King's Indian, the pawn's back here. So you really do give up a lot of central control. Okay, that seems slowish to me. So now I'm thinking a6, hit the knight. Can't go there, queen takes. Can't go there, queen or pawn takes. It's going to have to retreat, so let's kick him back. Kick him back, let's grab some space. We've even got d5 as well now, that's a possibility. Knight comes to there, d5, it is defended twice. Knight comes here, I've even got b5, which makes life harder for this bishop. It's currently a bit awkward. But I like this space push. It kind of constrains White's ideas here on the queen side of the board. My king is fairly snug in there. It's got a rook and a knight defending, and I've still got my dark squared bishop, which is great. I'm expecting the knight to go back there. I've also got h6 and push the bishop back as well. That could be really good. It's going to end up on this diagonal here. But again, not much future there. So I like the fact that my opponent isn't castled. I like the fact that his king hasn't got anywhere safe to go. So when you are castled, when you've got your king to safety, your opponent's king is still in the middle of the board. The general idea is to push, 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 and then try and break open the centre. Now my opponent's got quite a pawn mass in the centre. So the question is how then to do it. So one idea is b5. Just, again, removing this square from the bishop. Because that could be quite nasty, letting the bishop onto that open diagonal. Another option is this, and that comes with tempo. The bishop's going to have to retreat. And I kind of like that. Okay, so he's decided to trade. Okay, interesting. Now the question is pawn or rook, and I'm inclined to recapture with the rook. Sorry, bishop or pawn. I'm looking at the rook. Recapture with the pawn frees up this rook on that diagonal, which seems to make sense. If I capture with the bishop, black's still got this dark squared barrier in the middle of the board, so where's my bishop going to go? Is it going to go down here? Don't know. I'm going to grab it with the pawn. I like the fact that now we've both got kind of an extra f-pawn. So if he wants to use his pawn majority against me now, okay, he's coming for my rook. Right, that makes sense. It's defended by the knight. Let's kick her queeniness away. She's going to have to come back to one of these squares. Get out of town, queen. She goes here. I can just push and kick again. Happy days. She could take, win a pawn. That's another option. Probably White's better option, actually. Wins a pawn, exchange queens. Then this pawn's going to be kind of weak, and White's going to have loads of pawns in the centre. 5 pawns on 3 files. Whoa, 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 what the hey, what? Okay, you're looking at this pawn, are you? Okay, I've got king h7 defends the pawn. And then maybe ideas of trapping the queen, I don't know. Can't take there, can't take there, can't take there. Can't go there or there. Or there or there or there. b7 is a possibility. Attacking the rook. So I'd like to play my knight out now. That's an interesting attacking idea. It looked weaker at first, but White's keeping on the front foot, keeping the pressure on. Which is a good idea when you are vulnerable, right? Come out on the offensive if you can. Okay, so they've grabbed a spare pawn. Now I'm kind of inclined to play rook e7 and banish the queen. If I play this, I've got to be concerned about pawn b7. Now I've got rook a7, should win the pawn. Rook here, queen retreats, can't go there or there. It's probably going to come back to here now. Well, Well, this actually kind of proposes a traitor queen, similar deal. But here, knight d7 gets my knight off the back rank, and now I've got two attackers on there, so that looks good. So even if the queen comes back now, I can capture with queen or knight, and I've got backup. That's defended by the rook, attacked by the bishop. It's currently undefended, but not attacked. This is also undefended, but not attacked. So white's kind of mixing things up a bit here. However, they still have this Achilles heel. Okay, fascinating. Right, I have... Okay, the risk is queen takes, clearly. Now I could push the pawn, and queen can't take. I push the pawn, queen can't go to g6, right? I'd love to trap that queen too. But she's got this diagonal here with two safe squares. If I push, they push, I can push again, but then they've got h3 opening things up. If I go there, she's got queen takes. Okay, I go there, they push, then I attack the queen has to clear off. Cockerell approves. Interesting play. Two cockerels joining in the chorus now. Opponent is a pawn up at this time, but we've got a hanging pawn as well. If they play anything slow, I could... because my queen's the only defender of that knight there. So I might capture with the knight. Knight there. Potentially traps the queen. You're playing well, Patzer Joe. That's another good move. Threatening bishop takes f5 with check. Good move. Winning another pawn as well. I can't move the pawn because it's pinned. I drop my king back. Bishop can take, and it's not check, and I can push that up. I think that's my only real option now. So bishop takes, maybe rook e7, queen retreats, knight takes pawn. Okay, we're safe. Queen could go there. Then I've got queen g7. Nice aggressive play. I like playing aggressive players. That's what chess is all about. Okay, queen g8. The queen can't come in now, they just lose a bishop. You might also think about centralizing this rook. Also want to grab that pawn, but now this pawn can push forward, can't it? It's going to force rook b8. Bishop can take that, I can recapture. Interesting times. Knight f8 is going to force the queen back there. Also got knight, actually e5 also hits the queen, forcing the queen back, and then I'm looking at that very nice square on f3. The queen's going to come back here, so f3 is currently not available, but I am pushing them back a little. There's only one move, I think. Yeah. I expect f4 to be pushed soon. This pawn could be pinned. Not too worried about this now because my rook's now covering it. So I could think about bringing that rook across and then try and blast through on the e file. Yeah, let's play that. Got knight here with a fork on 2 pawns. Queen is now the only defender of that. So I've stifled the queen's ideas for the time being. That is worrying. Ooh, hello. Hello there. Huh. Okay. Now queen f8 looks like the obvious move. I'm kind of safe. Queen can't come in there now because of the knight. Or if I take with the rook. I think just queen f8. Still, this is an annoyance. But now I do have check. Now the bishop's moved. Yeah, bringing everything against me, aren't you? So now looking at this. Wow. If I take, push. Takes, pushes. Then the queen's actually got some scope. I'm going to go for that. I'm going to sack the rook. Postpone recapturing the pawn. Hit the knight. Knight then has to go back. I do have a check that will force the king to move. Could win a pawn with that. I'm 4 pawns down, equivalent now. I'm down the exchange and 2 pawns. So I need to come out swinging now. So I've got queen there check. I've got knight d4 check. So this combination of threats could work out all right. Plus this queen is actually... What? You've come in? Hang on. Okay, so if queen takes, he's got queen takes rook. Yee, not nice. But then I've got this as well. Now this is sharp. This is where you have to calculate. Got rook takes pawn. And with a double attack on this knight. Knight could come in there. No, that doesn't work. Let's do rook takes pawn. They might threaten this. But now the knight could fall, and the queen is guarding the promotion square there. Also got check here and then win the pawn. Might be nice. Knight can't go there because rook takes. There knight takes. That doesn't work. Queen takes. That is just leaving the party, really. And then I play check, grab the pawn. And if the queen ever moves from the defensive there, I've got knight takes f3 check, winning back the exchange. Sharpness. You cut yourself on this position. A super play from white. Very much enjoying this. Never a dull moment in the old Dutch defence. There's no way to defend the knight, I don't think. Queen can't come in. The queen has no options. Knight has to move. But where's the knight going to go, actually? It can't go... Yeah, okay. Okay. Now... Okay, so it's threatening, takes. So my queen possibly, arguably, shouldn't move away. But if I can move with check, right. So let's say queen goes there, what's going to happen? Knight goes there. King's got a couple of options. Queen here, I am leaving this pawn slightly undefended, which we don't like. Knight there, king has to move, I grab a pawn. Then rook's going to come here and it's going to be backing up that pawn, so that just seems counterproductive. Queen here. King's probably going to move, I'd say probably f8 is most likely. So if my queen's there, then I've got that with another check. Could end up pushing the king in front of the rook. I've also got king h7. If at any point I kind of run out of moves, so let's throw in the check. I can't think of any other approach, but this is relatively safe. They might grab the bishop, just recapture. I'm not too bad. But you've got a check to deal with now, mate. White's over halfway on his time, but it's well up in material, but is slightly down on king exposure. Okay. Just throw in another check. I'd like to get my queen somehow supporting that pawn so I can get the knight capture in. I don't know how that's going to happen. Okay. Let's throw this in. Got these two squares still covered by my knight. Pawn pushes, I've got queen e4 check, which is quite pleasant. And then I can bring my knight in there. That would be ideal for me. So I think that would be an error from white. Okay. Ooh. Undefended pawn, undefended pawn, undefended pawn. I'm currently relatively safe around the king, believe it or not. It looks very precarious, but it's okay. I think I need to come after this pawn because that's actually the biggest threat right now. Don't have to worry about knight here because it's all covered. Okay, I'm going to come after this pawn now. And I'm glad I didn't eliminate that pawn. Okay, that's not an issue because queen can't come in. And I don't think we're going to capture the knight. That just... Oh, should I? Should I? Should I? Capture the knight. Queen can't come in there or there. They're covered, right? Don't think there's any need right now. Knight's also defending this pawn here, so that's now double defended. So I'm just going to grab this pawn. I'm going to bide my time. The knight's still on prise, so that's always an option. And then I can always plug this hole as well with the knight. Okay, it's kind of forcing my hand a bit here. Now if I capture the knight, you're going to capture my knight. If I move my knight, I've got queen g6 check. Ha! Got knight here, queen g6 check, move out of the way. And we're still actually covered, and then I've got a check there. Right, let's do this. Hang on. I do that, you do that, move away. Now I'm going to lose my knight. Don't want to lose my knight. I do want to break up these pawns. The possibilities of getting my pawns off the light squares and getting a check with my queen against the king in the corner there. But this is good play. Misa like this. Okay. That's fine. There's no more checks. These squares are all covered, so the queen can't check again. This pawn is now hanging. Comes with check. I'm an exchange down at this point, which is not the end of the world. But pawn takes, recapture. That's not the end of the world. Oh, I might have to recapture with h actually, because that would hang the rook. If I take there, I've also got queen takes here with threats. More threats. Threats within threats. Oh! Bitch! Oh, I did not see that one. Alright, I'm having your knight then. Spiked trade of knights. Okay, so now you're attacking that. This is not too bad. But if queen takes either of these pawns, I can't recapture with the bishop now. I can recapture the rook if she takes that one, but she can take this one. Okay, so this pawn is kind of in danger. I can drop either my rook back or my queen back. But obviously that's a checkmate threat, so I've got to do something about that. So I think I'll probably drop the queen back. Thinking what's best for future attacking possibilities. I know even I have to defend desperately, but if you've got to defend, defend well. Dropping the rook back's okay. Oh, that dropped that pawn. Okay, now I've got to double up further with my rook. Now I might need to get my king off of there so I can counterattack the queen. No, I'm getting spanked here, aren't I? Wow, 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 wow. Alright. King here. Queen's out of checks and is now in danger. So I'm guessing queen's going to capture on h4. So I'm still just an exchange down and a bunch of pawns. So white has done a very good job of just undoing my defences there. Great kind of front foot attacking play. Yet the king is somewhat vulnerable. Not as vulnerable as mine. White has 3 pawn islands here. 11 minutes on the clock. Okay, that's to be expected. Right, I want to get my king the hell out of dodge, don't I, really? But there's nowhere really safe. Got a free pawn. Attacks the rook. Let's say I take that and we have queen here. Have to come here. That might be alright. Let's grab a free pawn, just attack the rook. In fact, queen can't go there because bishop takes. That would be a blunderama. Blunders a go-go. Queen here, check. Just dodge away. Go and hide under the skirts of my queen. Four material points down at this point. Queen can't go there or there. Can come here, but that's not too bad. Not too scary. And you have to remember white has double pawns there, so that's worth a little bit less. Okay, where's the best place for my bishop? I think here again. That takes away that and that. Queen can come here with pressure on the bishop, but still defended twice. This pawn coming down could be an issue. Okay, I can't play that because it's not defended. Got to do something about the advance of this pawn, so maybe queen here. This rook's now ready to jump down as well though, but with queen there it's actually guarding that square. Or rook here. That looks alright. Queen still can't come in the corner, rook can't come there. We are clinging on, boys and girls, by us fingernails. There's a storm coming. Pawn can't advance because I can just capture with bishop or even rook. Under 10 minutes now. Patzer Joe, it's down to you to finish me off. Can you find the way? It can be very satisfying to play a game where you just defend for your life. I think maybe getting my king to here might be decent. Now what about this? What about this? Queen can't come in the corner with check. Rook can't come there with check, I just take it. Was that a blunder by my friend Patzer Joe? Well, what checks do you have? You've got Rook B1, doesn't work. Queen H1, doesn't work. Rook A, doesn't work. Alright, you've just dropped a rook. So now, you're going to be 2 pawns up, I think. So I've got 3 pawns, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Right, now I think I want to be... Oh, queen's taken. Ooh. Okay, that. Queen can't take... Hang on. Not so fast. There, queen takes rook, queen takes queen, rook takes queen, king takes rook, and we're in an ending where I'm 2 pawns down. However, if I move my king there, queen here, rook takes, same story. King here, queen g8, king moves. No. Okay, hang on. Go here, queen g8, king e7. Rook there. I think there's too many ways. But then I've got a very nice passed pawn. So if everything comes off the board, my king should be able to handle this guy. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. Let's go for it. Let's go for the ending. I'm going to have to. So you can pre-move that. You can also pre-move that as well. Somebody asked me in the comments the other day, can you do 2 pre-moves or more than 1 pre-move? And you can in the browser, but you, as far as I know, I mean I'm on iOS, you can't do more. You can do 1 pre-move on the mobile app, but not multiple ones. Okay, 8 minutes. But I'm liking my c-pawn now. I've got 10 minutes on the clock. Damn. Okay. Okay, if I put my queen there, he gets my good pawn. If I block, I'm attacking the queen. I've got rook there, doesn't work. Let's block. Could have queen in the corner. We've been through this scenario. I can dodge out the way. Okay, queen's got to move. It really should be moving with check. Can't go there. Can go there, in which case king e7. Be really good as well if I can get my rook onto here, threatening mate on h2. That'd be super cool. Tick tock now. Come on, Patsa Joe, you can do this. Okay. Right, we're not going for a repetition. Do not want that. Okay, but now we've got threat of check there. So I can't play rook to there now because queen there wins the rook. So that's a no-go. King here. Let's think this through. Now he's got queen there. Ah, curse you. That also wins the rook. Okay, might end up with a draw. Might have to be a draw. It's unrated, so it doesn't totally matter. I'll take a draw, wouldn't you, in this situation? And sometimes a draw is the right thing, because you should play. Okay. Now king e7. Queen can't go there, queen can't go there. So we might be alright here. If pawn pushes, I think I can... No, I can't capture. I'll just move out of the way. Okay, but which way to move? Is there... There's no check. Okay, move swiftly. I'm 2 minutes up on the clock. White's down to 7 minutes. I want to keep the pressure on. Ha. Ha. Now if I take pawn takes, that's bad news, right? If rook takes, queen takes, that's not too bad. So I'm going to push Charlie and put the pressure on white now. If rook takes, queen takes, and I'm controlling this danger pawn. And we're trying to get that guy safe. Also push this one, maybe get some checks in. Yeah? A queen b7 maybe. If I take, queen takes, dodgy. But then rook takes, I can't have that either, can I? Ha! There, rook takes, I take with the queen. I'm also threatening this pawn. This is edge of the seat stuff, isn't it, everybody? Rook takes, queen takes, king takes, pawn falls. Charlie does the rest. Check here. I take the pawn. This is great. Under 6 minutes now, and I'm on 8:20. Now I can't capture because my rook's actually pinned against by the queen, so he's simply defending the pawn. I get that. Now I can push Charlie again. So what's the plan here? Queen can't take still. The plan is probably queen e8 check, yeah? Queen e8 check, and I can't take the pawn, but I can just move. I'll push the pawn. Don't see an imminent threat. Queen here, king f5. And I am then threatening the pawn. Queen can't come there because of my pawn. Can't come there or there. King that just takes. Can't go there because queen takes. I'm threatening to capture the pawn. It's a stinker. Come on. Go on, Charlie. Go on, Charlie boy. I'm also now threatening actually to take the rook. Okay. Now do I just grab the pawn? I think I kind of have to. But with king or rook? This is the question. Let's say rook takes, right? Queen can't go there still. Or there, or there. If king takes... I'm going to take the rook. Ah! That was a bad call. Oh no! No! Bad call. Oh, what a blunder. And I'd fought so hard in that game. Man. Patsa Joe, you have earned it, mate. You have earned it. Oh, Jesus wept. No, that's horrible. If I go there, I think that's mate, isn't it? If I go anywhere else, I lose my rook. Okay, you got me. I resign. Well done. Congratulations. Great game. Just let down by an awful blunder. And I've got 7 minutes on the clock. Oh my lord. If rook takes, it hangs my queen. I mean, discovered attack against my own piece. I should have just done that. Well done. Great game. Whoa. Okay. Oh, I need to relax now. Alright, there you go. Brilliant game. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and all that good stuff. I'll see you soon.